Wake Up with Jim and Saab is exclusively on Spotify.
If you want to start your own podcast, check out anchor.fm. And if you like the podcast, make sure to follow on Spotify.
Also, share your stories
And tag.
and tag us on at Wake Up with Jim and Saab on Instagram and at ano ba?
Di ko alam.
Anyway, ito na yung show. Welcome to the Wake Up with Jim and Saab podcast. Bakit ang soft? Welcome to the podcast where we talk about
I have no idea what we're going to talk about.
ultimatum.
Oh. Where we try to help ultimatums.
Ultimatum. Saan ko ba narinig yung ultimatum?
Ultimatum. It's ultimatum. It's
Si
like
Matt Damon ata nagsabi.
born ultimatum. Hi, I'm the born ultimatum. No, ang alala ko
This
is
is the podcast where we're going to talk about ultimatums and does it belong in relationships? Can you enforce that? Is it something that you can do? Is it something that, should you do it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, ang born ultimatum, an example is if you don't propose today, break na tayo. Diba? If you don't have a job by tomorrow, kick out ka na.
it's a deadline.
It's a deadline. So we're gonna actually do a malibag. So here's the malibag. Okay.
Okay.
Hi, just want to say that I'm so happy that I discovered your podcast this year. And you've been my constant companions while working from home.
Aw.
My birthday is near and I will soon be out of the calendar. Will be 32. Is that an expression?
I've never heard of that.
I'll be out of the
a calendar.
calendar.
If you're past 31, ganon.
Ganun ba yun? And I've been working in another country. I also be in kung saan in case may maka-narrow down to me. I met my non-Filipino boyfriend through Tinder. We've been together since 2017. This year, some of my close friends got married and pregnant, and even yung ex-housemate ko, who is only 27, got engaged. I've been hinting to my boyfriend that I want to get married soon and to be pregnant in 2022. He seems to be committed to me and he openly talks to me that he sees me as someone he wants to spend the rest of his life with. But I don't know, maybe sa peer pressure and me getting older, natatagalan ako. I haven't felt that he's planning to propose or even trying to see what my ring size is. So there are things at play here from an outside perspective. Do you guys think I'm being atat or should I be taking this more seriously? A thought came to my mind that if he doesn't propose by end of this year, I should give him an born ultimatum or end it. Pero parang ayoko sana. He's so kind and hindi naman kami nag-aaway. I get along with his family. Does it sound mababaw? It's just that with this pandemic, life has become shorter and I want to settle down and start family life and enjoy my kids earlier. Hi, or baka pressure lang to keep up with my friends. Okay.
You know, when you read these can I just give you feedback? When you read these malibags, you have to have heart.
I do have heart.
You were reading it too quickly and monotonously. Just some feedback. Just, something to mull over, Jim. I give you an ultimatum to fix that. Dapat basahin ko yung last line. Basahin ko lang. It's just that with this pandemic, life has become shorter. And I want to settle down and start a family and enjoy my kids earlier.
Can you read it like that?
Hi.
Pero it is. And then, gawin mo yung...
Okay. A thought came into my mind that if he doesn't propose by the end of 2022, I should give him a born ultimatum. Sorry, Jim and I just watched The Born Identity.
So, okay. Lots of things to unpack. I think, okay. Number one, which I think deserves an episode in itself. Marriage.
Yeah.
And...
Alam mo kung meron tayong marriage masterclass? Wedding masterclass part 1. Years ago.
Part 2. Never
nagka-part 2. We should have part 2, which is about marriage.
Yeah.
Back up, ilan taon na nga tong si Sender?
Non-calendar. She's out of the calendar.
32. Okay. Tapos yung boyfriend niya, 27.
Hindi.
Pala.
Well, hindi niya sinabi anong age nung boyfriend niya. Now, okay.
Out of the calendar nga pala.
Okay. my initial thoughts.
Yes.
Okay? Number one, there are multiple reasons naman that are very valid for, um, being pressured to get married. Diba? You want to quote Win Butler of Arcade Fire, I want a daughter while I'm still young. You wanna have kids. You wanna ako, like we didn't plan our pregnancy, but that was my thinking. It's like, shit, if we plan to have kids like when we're 40, gusto ko naman sana makapag, I don't want like my kids looking at me as like with bad knees and like, kawawa talaga si Papa. Parang I didn't, that's, so I guess that's a valid concern. Okay?
You want to be Jason Bourne. Yun pa rin. Gusto mo na pagka Jason Bourne ka pa rin.
Gusto ko parang may pagka Jason Bourne or may pagka Goodwill Hunting. Labo.
Damon supremacy. Okay.
So there. That's one. I do support that naman. It's a valid concern. Another one is the fact that we're so conservative. Diba? Na parang, I get her. Diba? She probably wants to, live in. And I think this is a more of a, a Filipino Roman Catholic kind of thing. Yung, let's say live in naman kayo. Diba? You guys are buying stuff together. You're buying furniture together. And you're in a rush because you want to be, share that part of your lives. Kasi diba that's what happens most of the time. Especially in our generation, diba? Like, our friends, like, they live with their boyfriends, their girlfriends. But, that's why they feel the pressure now. We need to get married because we want to, share that. Because it's still, quote-unquote, frowned upon.
Yeah.
Diba? Yeah. So,
Hindi pa sila live-in. Pero alam ko non-Filipino yung boyfriend niya.
non-Filipino yung boyfriend eh.
Okay. Together sila, they talk about the rest of their life. Okay.
Wala.
But they talk about buying a house together. So I guess they haven't bought a house together. There's nothing in here about them living together yet. So we're a little kulang sa details of where their relationship really is, no?
Yeah, let's assume.
Pero 2017 pa sila.
Yeah, let's assume that, maybe they're not officially living together. Pero maybe she has an apartment, he stays there for a week. Ganon.
But it's still not the same, no? Kasi you can't really structure your living situation if it's not quote-unquote permanent. May ganun eh.
Yeah.
Diba?
Gets ko. And even with money, like, there is, naiintindihan ko yung there's that comfort of, okay, our money, there's a legal document binding us.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna pay for shit and then you're gonna break up with me and then wala na. What I do have a hard time understanding, and don't worry, Malibag sender, because it is a common thing that for these wrong reasons that she listed below. Kasi tingnan mo, if you do a pros and cons list, the guy's nice. He's talking to you about
buying
the
a house
future.
together.
He's open about this.
He's not dodging it.
He's not dodging it. You say he's a great guy. The only con, and ako for me, the I think the troubling thing is when someone is pressured because of outside forces, na your friends are getting married, they're getting pregnant, which I understand. I personally, I don't, but would you? Ikaw?
Alam mo, it's very understandable, especially, it's not a joke, the biological clock. She's 32 and there is a lot of pressure. Kasi even younger people now, I mean, my batchmates rin, they were having a hard time even if they were younger. Parang you think you're not ready and then when you are, biglang there are complications and then there's a whole thing. It's a different thing. It's a different journey. So parang if we're going to do it, might as well, sige, go ahead. I have my my thoughts later.
But yeah, I agree with your point. it's a valid concern, no? Kaya sinasabi ko yung biological clock,
Yes.
those things are fine. Sinasabi ko is when it's outside forces, are telling you na you should get married. It's parang peer pressure. Because remember, what we always say in this podcast, it's not, your friends are not gonna marry this guy.
Yes.
Diba? You are the one who's going to get married to him. Okay?
Parang na-FOMO siya no?
Yeah, na-FOMO. And maybe a good exercise for you would be to really reflect and think about like what are you most excited about in terms of marriage, diba? I think obviously the answer might be just as simple and as she wants kids na.
Yeah, nafe-feel
She
ko
said
yun.
naman yun
Oo, family life.
Pero if other than that, if there are other reasons, because mas lumabas rin sa letter niya yung mga IG, ng friends niya, ganyan.
May pressure.
Well, maybe you can start, at least thinking about those things that are bothering you or parang naatat ka. And then really try to understand. And maybe there's a way na you could experience some of those things.
Yeah.
Ako, I have a stormbreaker. Ikaw muna.
Ako, okay, sige. Well, ako, I completely understand. What I would advise you to do is to do things muna that are under your control. Okay? So, let's pretend this guy doesn't exist. For me, if it's kids, yung talagang you have your eyes set on this, you do the things that will help you go closer towards that goal. What can you do right now? Number one, make an OB appointment na. Check if everything's good. Even if you don't want kids right this minute, go to the OB as early as you can. If you feel like you do want to have kids, maybe this year, next year, just check, is everything good with me? Because in case there are some preparations that, diba, that you may have to do. You might have to take some supplements to make your bed comfy for the future child, diba? That, basta ask your doctor, that one is under your control. And then you know what? That's a great opener. Then talk to your boyfriend. You don't have to hide that.
Yeah.
Bakit mape-pressure siya? Bakit ka man natakot? You're not going to hide that you want kids.
Honestly,
Diba?
mas magandang pressure nga yun kaysa, hey, I want my ring.
Yeah.
Diba?
Alam mo, maganda nga talaga yun na parang, hey, you know what I was thinking? I feel,
I'm 32.
I'm 32 and, there's this whole thing na the clock is ticking and I don't mean to pressure you, hun, but I just want, I'm planning to make an appointment with my OB. You're free to come. Tara, if you want to join me, let's check it out. Let's just see if everything's good. It's more of a me thing. I just want to make sure I'm good. And
Yeah.
I would love your support. But it's okay if you don't feel And then that's where you get your hint na rin na parang if hindi siya G kasi parang that's pretty big step, right?
Yeah.
Then you have some thinking to do. And then yeah, I think more
Honestly, so ganung step pa nga lang, dun nga mas madaling mag-filter eh. Kasi let's say, hey, let's say I took a test. Would you mind doing it also? Para lang we can see where we are. Parang we won't have any problems. Parang, I'm not saying you do that. What I'm saying is that sometimes, lalo na sa mga ganitong sitwasyon na parang you're trying to gauge this person's intentions. Actions really do speak louder than words. So he can say like, I'm so excited to buy you the moon. Pero, can you pee in this cup? Diba? Parang no. So, the peeing in the cup is more romantic than the words, I'll buy you the moon.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Tsaka sa akin, when you talk about, parang if you're sharing that big part of your life na I'm actually gonna get checked if everything's good, that's you sharing about yourself, right? As opposed to you saying, ang tagal mo kasi. Ang tagal mo, asa na. So, if that is a red flag for him na parang, ay, puta naman, bakit ba't papacheck sa OB? Sobrang, ang aga pa natin para magkaanak. Ano ba yan? Kung ma red flag, kung he thinks na it's a red flag and biglang matrigger siya and then he wants out. then at least you dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
Diba? Kasi for me, you didn't push him away by being open with him about your plans, then you'll be able to sniff it out. Diba? Na, is this guy, does this guy value the same things as I do? Because if not, maybe, maybe there's someone else out there for me. And at least you can start searching for that person. Or,
Ako even before that, at
not
least,
searching
ako even before considering breaking up or whatever, it's really, you have to change the way you gauge this person's intentions. And by the looks of it, everything you're saying, kulang naman yun. Parang it's not about like getting your ring size and all these things. Because at the end of the day, yun nga, ang dali lang sabihin yun. Trust us. Ang dami na naming kaibigan na, like, yun nga si Mr. I'm gonna buy you everything. I'm gonna grab you. We're gonna have so many kids.
So yung mga secret chats sa Viber.
Tas biglang monkey attack.
Monkey attack.
So,
listen to our episode with Candy for that reference.
So, yeah, I guess that's my take. My Stormbreaker is it's the Born Ultimatums
Stop saying ultimatum.
fail. It for me, it never works.
Yes,
Because
ultimately,
yeah,
it fails.
because you may get what you want, but because of the circumstance and how you got it, it doesn't allow you to actually see, like, if you did, kasi the point of doing the ultimatum is seeing, like, do you love me? Diba? If you love me, let's get married. Yeah. But ultimately, what you want to know is, does this person love me? And will he love me? Will he commit to me forever? Diba? And maybe if you package it nga that way, it sets it up for a lot of, it could set up a lot of resentment, a lot of, anger. So at the end of the day, it's still communication. And I think you just have to find different ways to see kung ano ba talagang intentions ng taong to. So kung tanong kita, do ultimatums work? Are you pro or nay? What if it's like, get a job? That's
Ako, I don't use the word ultimatum, but when I give advice, mostly unsolicited advice to my friends, I always use the words internal deadline.
Ang ganda yun.
I always tell them, okay, yeah, sure, just give yourself an internal deadline. Just for yourself lang, na parang, by this time, I think I'll stop. Parang I'll choose na who I want to be with. Parang ganon. Parang an internal deadline lang. Kasi if you don't have that deadline, baka mas maging lost ka lang. So having that internal deadline, sa'yo lang naman yan eh. Diba? Parang it's a nice compass.
Ganda.
Tama ba? Okay ba yan?
Yeah, I lang. Galing
Thank
mo,
you. And no, I really do use that. And also, yun nga, ako, the ultimatum, it's never fun to hear. It's never fun to be at the receiving end of an ultimatum, right?
Yeah.
If you're afraid that talking about marriage and having kids will push a guy away, talking about an ultimatum is the one to do that.
True.
But talking about your feelings, how you are doing, what you value, you should never be afraid to talk about that with your partner, who is going to be with you for life, who is going to be the father of your children. So if you're afraid to talk to him about these things, then maybe there's some thinking to do. Or just stop overthinking and talk to him about it.
Galing.
Saab, out.
Love you.
Born Supremacy na tayo. Okay, bye.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.